Thank
No.
God for when you showed me the on the MacBook how you can do like the semi blur. What's that called?
Portrait mode?
Yeah, it's fantastic because it blurs my super frizz. So, like, I don't know what's going on. My hair is just extremely frizzy these days, and in person, it's like a couple inches up off the head, but in the mini blur, you can't see the full extent of the frizz. So I just wanted to publicly thank you for that.
It's why I told you. I knew this whole time that that's what you needed, clearly.
My kid, my girl, she's got the frizziest little hair. It's so cute. And it's reinforced my confidence in my own hair that like it's not something I did to it over a lifetime of like dyeing it, and like burning it with bleach and shit. Like it's just natural and that's fine. So thought
Well,
we
at least you got hair. As someone whose hair is thinning, I look at like my boys and I'm like, oh, like I hope you get to keep it. What
yes.
I would do.
My wife's family is from not from, they retired to a small Greek island. And a lot of the men there are getting hair transplants. They're boating over to Turkey and getting cheap hair
Dude, you
transplants.
see it? That's the thing about that Ryanair tweet where they were making fun of that ball guy. He was like pissed off that the window seat didn't have a window. They
Mhm.
just like turkey flight. Thought that was hilarious.
Amazing. Anyway,
No.
so what do you want to talk about today, Nick?
The question of life. There's a lot of things going on. There's multiple things going on.
So much.
I want to talk about how full stack is officially changing shape.
Yep.
This episode will go live around the same time, probably the same day. That would be the goal.
Yeah.
Is to get this episode to go live the same day that we flip the switch. So let's talk about what we're doing, why we're doing it, what it means, all those things.
Yeah.
Let's see where it takes us. And we've discovered or we've articulated in the problem that we're trying to solve in a slightly different way as we build out like what I would consider the media arm of full stack, right? The
hmm
Substack stuff, this show, all those types of things. So I think there's a lot there.
hmm
So let's start with this change to going self-paced, fully self-paced.
As an option, not the only option.
Yes.
As an option. Yeah. So it all comes back to the offer letter, which when you're doing something that's anything other than just selling a one-to-one service, you're gonna want an offer letter. Like we each have our own one-to-one. I had content sparring. I'm pivoting again to like launch content, but you've got your offer design niche on the problem stuff. What we launched with Full Stack is what I think you and I would consider a mid-ticket offer.
Yeah,
So
4-figure.
4-figure still, but it's a group coaching situation. It's not going to be the premium high ticket, like anywhere from a couple thousand a month recurring all the way up to,
Super ding dong.
super ding dongs.
But it also is not entry level.
Exactly. It's not. We went from high ticket to mid ticket. And the thing is, when you launch a mid ticket, which is like generally somewhere around, I don't know, what would you call mid ticket? 500 up? 800 up?
I think about it 3 figures, 4 figures, 5 figures.
Okay, so it's a 4-figure
Yeah.
situation. It's generally harder to convert people quickly into a mid ticket without a low ticket entry ramp offer.
Yeah.
And we have our educational email course for free. But then we
Right.
did a webinar for free too. And think about this purchase decision. You do a webinar for free, you listen to someone talk, and the next thing that you
They
can
listen to
sell
us
them,
ramble on this show.
you listen to us ramble on the show, the next thing we can offer them from free is 4 figures. That's a steep jump.
It is. But it's also not that insane. like when we launched to 50 plus almost immediately.
Hmm.
50 people joined. Um, so there was definitely pent up demand for that.
Yes. But now we're trying to do two things, in my opinion. We're trying to get people who are super interested, but a bit too early for the mid ticket. They don't have the cash or they don't have the confidence. They're not ready. It's bad timing, whatever it is that they tell themselves, whether it's true or not. Like they're not going to invest four figures in something. And there's no reason to say to those people, all right, well, never give me money or only give me money when you feel like you can sometime in the future. When you can say to them, hey, here's like a lower risk way to still get access to the materials and the principles without any guided implementation.
Some people just don't want it either.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's true.
I think that was one thing. That was probably an oversight when we launched, which was we were so excited about the group coaching, which has proven to be immensely valuable to people.
Yeah.
It was everything we thought it was going to be, but we forgot that not everyone wants a group coach
Right.
experience. Some people want self-paced. They want to learn on their own. Like they don't want to be a part of that.
And some people want just high ticket, right?
And
Like,
some people want just hide. Like, yeah, there's people all over the place. And I was like, well, the material works whether or not we're involved. Like the whole premise is that we increase the likelihood of success. Like the probability of success goes up because we're directly involved. But that didn't change the fact that there were just some people who were like, no, I just want the course.
right.
And it we just didn't do it until now.
Right. But there's another reason beyond just, I guess I said two reasons earlier. Now I'm thinking about there's three. So we wanted to give fence sitters an opportunity to buy something from us instead of just
Yeah.
waiting until they felt ready. We wanted to
Yeah.
give new people who weren't fence sitting but weren't as familiar with us because we're trying to expand our audiences, right? Like we wanted to give them a lower ticket entry ramp into our world. And we want to hold on. I've totally lost my train of thought there. The third group of people. Oh, we realized from teaching the 70 plus members in full stack that some of them never came to the group coaching call
Right.
and still have been having immense breakthroughs just with the self-paced like
Everybody in Australia.
yes. And
It's like we love and respect our Australian
it,
members to death. I'm sorry that our time zones don't work, but I'm glad that it's working. You're getting a
yeah,
lot out of
but
it.
it was kind of a nice like revelatory moment for us to realize like the materials alone, even without us talking through it with you, is getting people breakthroughs more than any of the other stuff that they've purchased online or read. That for me gave me like a whole new sense of confidence in the material. And that's when I started to think like, hey, this could be valuable as a standalone to give people a chance to just at least start. And then if they want more, they can opt into that in other ways.
Agreed. So we're building this out in a couple different ways, or a couple different things are kind of like in the pipeline. So we're just going to lay it all out here. Um, Full Stack as a group coaching program, as it's been, is going away. But that doesn't mean group coaching and those types of things are gone forever. Just like as we know it, it will be sunset for the time being, and it will become a self-paced course only. So same materials, just no new members in the group coach. So anyone who's in there gets to keep it. As of right now, we're the plan is to keep that going until the end of the year.
Yep.
The next thing that's on the docket, actually, there's like a few things in progress, and one I'm really excited about, which we just kicked off with, which is the mini books. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about the mini books as a revenue stream, but I want to shout out our boy Corey Kirby, who is coming on as like the head of editorial, basically, for Full Stack mini books or for Full Stack the Substack, and he's going to help us produce the books. And so he's going to be intimately involved in all that process, which is going to be a ton of fun. But that's going to be a revenue stream. So we'll have a third partner in just that venture specifically. Corey's core competency is he's a publishing strategist. So this is his world, and he's excited to learn a lot from him going through that. So that's like thing two beyond the self-paced course. So we'll have, and I think like those mini books are gonna be like $8 a month,
Yep.
and we're gonna publish 1 to 2 a month.
And we're just going to deep dive. We're going to deep
Yeah,
dive
it's gonna
into.
be 3,000 to 10,000 word like mini books.
Yep.
In that in there. This show will still be free, as of right now. And then we will have the mini books that will be paywalled. I think we're thinking like $8 a month for those. And then this course will be $350. And then now here's where things get fun, which is the creation of what we are calling the Offer Design Lab.
You just cut out there for a minute for me.
Yeah, my like everything is saying like
So you might want to like
something
do
with
like
a mouse.
one of these thingy majigs to give
Um,
yourself a note. Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna
So
try
just say
and
all that again.
um
Wait, let me have a sip of my beer.
Riverside is usually pretty good at like not losing it, but where were we? Beyond the Substack, we're thinking $8 mini books, right? And then we have a $350 self-paced course. Beyond those two things, we're going to launch what we're calling the Offer Design Lab, which I'm super excited for.
Me
And
too.
that's going to be more intensive, think cohort or workshop based offer creation as a guided approach. And that's going to be inclusive of the niche on the problem stuff we've been working on, the launch your offer stuff, the MP3 framework in all flavors, and some offer sales stuff. But all of that will live under, it'll be more of what we're doing, new frameworks, more intensive, like a lot more hands-on stuff. That's going to be on the Offer Design Lab.
And the reason why we chose to do that and why I'm also extremely excited about it is because the group coaching is working for the people who have the ability and or time to show up and do the work. When you give people an opportunity to take their time and they don't have the irrational bias towards action, the absolute need to replace their income with money immediately, or just a general personality where they like to show up to these things, like more often than not, they're going to take their time.
Yeah.
And we are so excited by the results that we've seen from people who are showing up, and we just want to try to accelerate that. Like, not everyone wants the longer term show up every week to group coaching. Like, a lot of people want to just kind of get in, get some stuff done, get out, and then opt into further implementation if they want it. So I'm psyched about putting like just a little bit more of like a forcing function on getting it done.
Well, it solves a bunch of problems that we have in the mechanics of the business, which is we've talked about this a ton, so we don't need to go into it more, but scarcity and urgency. So there's no reason to buy now.
Yeah.
Whereas cohort model, it's built in. And we talked about there's a lot about a cohort model, the constantly launching, like all this stuff, like the iterating on the curriculum. Like there's a lot about it that's very demanding. But I think it will solve some problems. It allows us to improve the curriculum, to run new and different plays, to share what we've just learned, or things that we're learning right now and frameworks that we're developing, all that good stuff. So there's a lot of benefits to it. Aside from just like there are people who purchase who don't necessarily attend those things. I think there's greater benefit. The other thing is that there's a lot of people who want it, but also just don't want to wait weeks or months. So we're thinking when we say intensive, like 2 days, 2 half days.
Yeah.
We go through everything, or 3 half days, like very short. We're going to try and truncate this and like jam it in to compress the time delay to as short as possible. And I think that's going to be super valuable, especially upstream. Like a lot of people don't have the time to spend weeks kind of working through something. Whereas if we can get you to good enough and launch within a few days and then iterate and refine over time, that's a huge win.
By the way, like that's the whole thing anyway. Like there is no perfect offer. There is no perfect launch. It is a series of experiments. And I have a client right now for my launch content development. She's written a book that's coming out soon. I won't give it all away, but basically she has a similar thing where it's like she wants her clients to act like quote mad scientists. And I love that
Mm.
phrasing because that's it. Like we all need to be a bit mad scientist-y ab- about this thing because the longer that you're hanging out in the lab and like not putting things out there and seeing, how the market reacts, how you feel, all that stuff, like you're just delaying the inevitable. And
Yeah.
you're going to get more in your head, you're going to overthink more. And so like we want people to get to a good first draft and then put it out there and iterate. Like you really can't mess around with these things. Like I don't know how else to say it. There's no perfect thing and it changes over time. And that is natural and normal.
Yeah. And just like it'll cater to people who need results now and to people who are at a who are further along that don't want to invest the longer term
Right.
nature of like a group coaching program. Like they would see this more as like a point solution. Like they don't necessarily need a private coach to
Right.
take them through the thing. They're like, work this through with me like quickly so I can get it up and running, and like I want it gone.
Yeah.
I
I
want it
mean, I
gone.
would have fallen into that
Yeah.
100%.
I think there's a lot of people there. So that's really exciting about the Offer Design Lab. And we share this because this is the next iteration of the offer ladder. Private coaching will still be available, but as far as the full stack offer ladder goes and all of these things, it's like we're starting to hammer out all the different steps in the ladder, right? We have an $8, we have a bunch of free stuff, ton of free stuff.
Hmm.
There's the $8 stuff, there's the $350 stuff, there's the somewhere like high 3-figure, low 4-figure, right? For the cohort based model, we're thinking like I'm gonna make I'm gonna just throw a number out there and say we're thinking like 850 to like 1200 or something like that
Hmm.
for those things. I thought about I was doing yard work the other day and I was like, ooh, the season pass. Like, what's the season pass look like? If we do 5 cohorts a year and they all build on each other or they all have different things, like could we sell a season pass? Like that's an
Cool.
interesting
That's
concept.
fun.
Yeah, and I didn't go much more than that. I was like, that's an interesting offer that would be a great super consumer offer. Anyway,
Mm.
that's a tangent.
Hmm.
Um, actually was inspired by this because Jay Acunzo has his master classes that he runs or his workshop series that he runs, and they're all different. It's not like he runs the same one over and over and over again. He might do some of that, but they're very different. And as your ICP of his, there's a lot of benefit in taking every single one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like, how do you get him to buy them all up front?
It's like Josh Spector's skill sessions.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Oh, Josh Speck, do you know his newsletter?
This name sounds familiar, but I feel like if I see it, I'll go, oh,
Yeah.
but I'm drawing a blank right now on this one.
Josh runs the let me open one of his newsletters because I can't remember the name. Oh, okay. I think he just changed it to his name. It used to have a different name, but he it's like a Louis Grenier style every day. I just give you a little bit of love
Mm.
in your inbox. But he has his main business, I believe, is things called skill sessions. Once a month, he runs a thing, and then you can buy all of them, access to all of them, some of them, whatever. And
Oh, that's cool.
it's cool. Yeah, it is cool.
By
So
like yeah, pre buy them, right?
yeah,
Pre-commit. Now it's like it's tough to sell someone a workshop that will happen in 6 months. Um, so there's a little bit of that. I don't know. We'd have to work out the details and the mechanics of that, but it was just something I thought of.
yeah,
Anyway, so there's the offer design lab kind of in a nutshell. Um,
it's all
it's
happening.
exciting.
Yeah, it's
It's all
exciting.
happening. So here's an interesting phenomenon
Yeah,
or like buyer psychology thing that's happening though, which is we have alluded to this a lot in the content recently, which is that the self-paced course is coming out and that we've kind of implied, we've never straight up said like we're shutting down group coaching as you know it. Um, I think that people are connecting some dots here.
I put the phrase we're putting it on ice in one
Okay.
email, but not to say everyone
Well,
read that.
right. Like, so it was, you didn't make a hard,
Yeah.
clear statement. You were just like, we're icing this thing for the moment, which implies, right, we're going to close enrollment on it. And then a bunch of people purchased. And it's funny to look at this and go, the fear of missing out, right? The fear of not being able to get in was what pushed people over the edge.
Yep.
And we tinkered with price a lot. And we were like, maybe it's price. Maybe we can use price to introduce urgency.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked in certain situations. And we've talked about when it's worked. We've run deals and we've tried different things. And it hasn't worked in some cases. And I think it's really interesting to see how the idea that if this program as it is today will no longer be available to enroll later, we've seen an influx of people coming through the door.
It's fascinating
And
how people work.
it is fascinating. And I think that there are some tactics here. Like, I don't think you would intentionally, I mean, I guess you could intentionally engineer where it's like the program's open for a certain amount of time and then you close enrollment.
Yeah, a lot of memberships work like that. They only open it for certain enrollment
They
periods.
do, but it's also like it's part of the strategy. And I think people can see through that and they go, oh, well, they're just going to open it up again.
Yeah.
Like, we don't like part of us figuring out how to run a membership and like how to build this type of business. And it led us to one final realization here as we were repackaging this offer to go full self-paced. And as we were working with Corey on some of the premise and some of the books, the mini books we want to write, we kind of, we stumbled upon this idea, or I think we just clearly articulated it for the very first time, which was the real motivation behind why a lot of people want the offer beyond some of the surface level stuff.
All
like,
right.
yes, it makes your life easier. Yes, it's easier to market and create content about. Yes, it's easier to sell. But there's a more internal thing going on. And what we are articulating as offer envy. And it didn't really click until, because you didn't believe, you were like, I don't know. You weren't like super in on this idea.
I love it now the more I've been ruminating.
Yeah, well, because when I had to point out to you that after one of the things that happened was after content sparring launched, a bunch of people were like, I can't believe I didn't think of that. I wish I thought of that. Can I steal that?
Yeah.
They have offer envy.
Yeah.
We talk about John Benini a lot because content brands is a genius idea. But John, like every time content brands comes up, somebody says, I wish I thought of that. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Right? That is offer envy. And so I think the more that we spend time trying to figure this out, and the more that we talk through this, and the more we realize like the primary thing going on here is that they see, like when you see someone else with an offer and you go, how did I not think of that? Like the purpose of doing this work is to be on the other side of that conversation. Like you want to be seen. It's like it's a lot of motivation that people have when they write a book is they want to see their name on the cover of a book.
Yeah.
Like just straight up. Like most people don't have, they just, it's an ego thing. It's a legacy thing. Like I respect it. Like we're going to put our name on a lot of books for the same reason. But we're just saying it what it is out loud. We help people. We put people on the other side of that experience.
Yes.
We help you create the offer that other people will envy, right? We help you overcome this offer envy so that you have a thing that when when you launch it and people see that and they go, how the fuck did I not think of that?
Yeah. And it matters way beyond the ego. Having a thing that people envy and that they find smart and credible elevates you in the perceived value status of the world that we live in, whether it's the LinkedIn echo chamber we live in.
Perceived value is everything.
Like, Devin Reed, finally, so, like, he's got the reader, he's got his like side thing. Then he like, made it, he did, I wouldn't call this necessarily an offer, but when he launched his podcast,
Read between the lines, like I
read
was like,
between, like,
damn.
it was so, read between the lines. It was so like, I don't know if you would call that offer envy or just like idea envy or like
Yeah.
execution envy, all of it. Like, it just looked polished. Aaron Balsa's blend to bold, genius. Like, Brendan Hufford, I know his thing is called growth sprints, but like the problem he's made checkbox marketing a thing. Like, when John Bonino launched content brands, everybody stole content sparring. Like, the amount of people that use the phrase content sparring now, like, it wasn't a thing and now it's a thing. Or thought
Yeah.
sparring, or like product spar, whatever it is. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
sparring, like that's the
Sparring
thing.
as an act.
You know?
Sarah Brooks, our homie Sarah Brooks with the website mirror, like I was
Yeah.
like, how did no one think of that before this moment?
So good.
Like, how did no one think of this?
So good.
Offer envy. So it's like it is. I mean, hey, the podcast in itself is like an offer. So
Mhm.
read between the lines is just genius,
Genius.
and
So good.
it's so good. And the whole idea is like, well, most of us have envy, like that moment of, and maybe it's not envy in the most traditional sense, but it's just that, why didn't I think of that? How did I not come up with that? Or how do I come up with that for me?
Right.
And that is the premise of all of this work right now, is how do we help people come up with that thing for themselves, that own offer? How do we help them design that offer themselves and launch it into the world in a way that makes other people go, why didn't I think of that? Or I absolutely need that. There's an element of offer envy that is when a buyer sees it, they go, that's absolutely genius.
Totally. I mean, just the words content sparring makes sense. I don't even have to talk.
Yeah.
That you
I
just
mean,
get
again,
it.
when we talk about Brendan Alford, when growth sprints, when people see that, they know exactly, they hear it and they go, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, so a buyer, it certainly helps buyers when you create that experience and that cognitive friction for people who are like, damn, that's good. That's the level, that's the experience we want people to have with everyone who goes through our programs. That's the experience we want to create for them, because that at the core is really the thing that we're all after.
100%.
That at the core is the thing that we are all after. And so there's going to be a lot more coming on offer envy and what it is, how it shows up, how to know if you have it, how to solve for it, all the different things that you can do. So I'm really excited about this idea because I think it just articulates a thing that a lot of us have. I mean, I feel it all the time too. I see great offers out there. I'm like, damn, I wish I built that for you. Like, I wish I helped you make that offer, because damn, that's a good one. That's
I agree.
a really, really good one. So, that's it. That's kind of that's the state of the state right now. We've been quiet for a couple of weeks, and I felt like we had to aerate a bunch of this stuff right now so that people didn't think we gave up on this podcast after.
Oh, hell no. We've just been heads down.
Yeah,
Heads
it's
down.
been way more work to turn this thing into a self-paced course than I ever anticipated. Like, just the ops. Like, not even just copy and pasting the material from one thing to another thing. It's the ops behind it of setting up all the shenanigans to make it run.
Yes, it is so much easier to just have an offer and have people hop on a discovery call, and then you send them an invoice and like maybe send them a
Services
workbook,
is by
and
far the
then you're good.
easiest. God, services is like the easiest thing in the entire world.
Like, once you know what you're
thinking.
doing and you have like a process and you're like, I'm going to take you through these 4 phases and here's what we're doing, and you do the work with us on it, it's so easy to run. But courses are so hard. You got all the ops shit, you got all the launch content, and then you got to get funnels, and you got to get people to continuously buy. It is hard.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking getting involved with you.
You asked.
I know. I don't know.
You asked to get involved with me. You did not.
I was really excited. I'm still excited, but like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, it is way more work than people think it is to create the products and set it all up and do it. I mean, once it's done, but then you have like the recurring revenue problem, which we always talk about. So
I'm really excited about this though, because this is the first low ticket that I actually have a full ladder for now. I've got the free.
Yes.
We're going to have the low, the mid-low, the mid, and the high. We're still working on the super ding dong. We haven't quite figured that one out
Yeah,
yet.
the super ding dong, I think we put that one on ice too. But
Yeah.
I think, what I'm really excited for is there's there's an element of this that we didn't talk about, and I don't want to rabbit hole, but I'll tease it, which is the mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The mastermind is probably going to be the reincarnation of group coaching, and it's going to be higher ticket than what it is today to encourage participation and to like more so guarantee participation. There's going to be sustained context between people. It's going to be a different type of engagement model than we have today.
Yeah.
But I think that will be on the back of some of the programs we're running now. So I'm thinking it's like a super consumer offer. Like really, you can't. The only way in is through some of this foundational stuff.
100%.
There's no like public facing offer for it. It's going to be the offer behind the offer.
Woohoo!
All
right. Excited
Too
for all
much offer talk for one day. All right.
All right.
Till next time.
Till next time. Goodbye.